think that that's one of the parts of the musical journey that sometimes people don't really understand. Sometimes people look at music, especially when you creating hip hop music, and you young black men, people look at it like, well, if you ain't got a record label and touring around the world by the time you 23, 24, you might as well just find something different to do,
Right.
and people look at it like how the NBA is, where like if a nigga playing basketball, you like 23, 24, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got in the league yet. You ain't get into a D1 school when you 18, 19. Like, nigga, this gonna be a real hard road to try to find your way into the NBA,
Right, right.
but music not really like that. Music is more similar to like becoming a lawyer or becoming a doctor, where if a nigga tell you that they going to law school when they 23 and they just finished passing the bar exam, nobody finna look at them like, nigga, why you not in court, you know what I'm
Right, right,
saying, doing
right.
all these cases. They gonna understand this part of your journey to get there,
Mm-hmm.
and if you in a case where this is a case for your life, nigga. Like, I don't want the nigga that's 23 or 24 that maybe he is a prodigy and he got here real quick and real early.
Yeah.
I want the 45-year-old dude that has seen
Yeah.
all these different cases, that know
Yup.
the loopholes, that know the
You
system.
got the
Yeah,
wisdom.
that got the wisdom. That's who I want. Like same thing with being a doctor. Like, I'm sure it's plenty of doctors who was like prodigies, and by the time they 23, 24, they surgeons somewhere or something like that. But the average doctor, the average person in medical school, when you 23 and you 24, you still going through the process. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying? Like, you 25, you figuring it out still. You're not the one that's in charge of the hospital.
Right, right.
Like, and if I gotta have to have an open heart surgery or something like that, like, I don't want the nigga with no facial hair coming in telling me how he finna do the
Nah, for
operation.
sure.
Like,
For
bring me the
sure.
dude that's like 50 years old, that done
Yeah.
seen
Bring
all
me
these
the
different,
old nigga.
yes,
He
that done
knows some
had this
shit.
experience, and like
Yeah.
music is like that, really,
For
like you
sure.
get better at music as time go on. Like, you don't
Yeah.
have no musical peak where like how it is with sports where you gonna have a physical peak. Like, no, you
Mm-hmm.
gonna get better at this, as long as you keep doing this. Your vocabulary gonna get better, your rhythms, your flows gonna get better. You gonna know your voice better. You gonna know your sounds better. You gonna know how you want to present shit better. You gonna learn how to release better.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
add, like, it's niggas that got into the game. They ain't really like niggas right now who
Yeah,
got into the game when they was like 30, like
yeah,
5 year old form. The nigga was like 30 something.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking I want to say 2 Chainz.
yeah.
Two
Two
Chainz got
Chainz.
in when he was like a little older. So
Yeah.
like, shit like that.
The Griselda, Conway, and Benny the Butcher. Like, yeah, they was
Benny the
all, yeah, they
Butcher,
was
man, they
older.
was
Yeah,
older. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So it's kind of like this shit really all up to you. Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? If you want to get discouraged and you want to go based off what motherfuckers telling you, and you like, oh no, I ain't trying to do it because I'm such and such age.
yeah,
That's you.
yeah,
So I'm saying you got some motherfuckers who really serious about their craft and they know they got it.
yeah,
They know they got the tools and everything it take to get to, you know what I'm saying, to go
yeah,
up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so shit. You either want to put that battery in your own back and boost yourself up.
yeah,
That's you. If you feel like, man, nah, I'm gonna cut out on this shit and I'm gonna hang it up and I'm gonna do something else. Again, that's your decision. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
But like, I would say though, if you doing this shit and you real determined about where you can go, you gotta stay consistent.
yeah,
You gotta keep doing you and do what you want to do. This your life. This your
yeah,
journey at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why give a fuck about what motherfuckers talking about?
yeah. So talk to me about where you at in your journey right now. Like, talk to me about what it is that you've been working on, what it is that you've been creating, and what it is that not necessarily. Okay, let me say this before we get necessarily to that. Talk to me about your catalog though, like, cause you have a catalog of music, which I sort of said earlier, and you've released music from the time I've known you. It's been maybe breaks, but you have consistently and regularly put out music.
For
I don't
sure.
think that you got a 2 year span where it ain't a song or a video or something coming
For
out.
sure.
So talk to me about your catalog and how important it's been to you to make sure you at least doing something, at least putting something out.
Yeah, like you know, my catalog. I know back then when I first was like rapping and shit, man, it was crazy because we was just having so much fun and we just like putting shit out for the fans. You know, everybody that's fucking with us, we just putting it out, put it out. So it was crazy. Now in between my breaks and shit like that, like you said, like that's good that you do your homework. Like you know that like I ain't never went like no 2 years
Yeah.
span. I might have went like some months,
Yeah.
a year maybe.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
You know what I'm
you ain't got
saying?
no 22 to 2024. No, it's something.
Nah,
It's
hell
somewhere in
nah.
there. And even if, what I'm saying, you and I think I admire that. You
Yeah,
know
for
what I'm saying,
sure.
because I keep up with that.
For
Like,
sure.
bro ain't, what I'm saying, bro ain't letting go of the rope.
Nah,
So
for
go ahead,
sure.
go ahead.
So it's important to me like to always kind of like leave that stamp. and let them, let motherfuckers know, like, motherfuckers still at it now. Like, motherfucker ain't quit. You know what I'm saying? We still going with this shit. Like, we going up. Like, we know we going up. So it's kind of like, why quit? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like we doing this shit until we get to where we want to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my catalog, for me, it was always like, I always knew my mind. Even when I did take my breaks, consistency is key. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stay consistent, bro. Like, you gotta, you feel me? Even when you take them little breaks, man, you gotta come back and you gotta step that shit again.
Yeah.
You take another break, make sure you come back. If you're gonna take a break, just make sure when you come back, you stamping some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta overly stamp that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, keeping that catalog going and keeping it as long as possible, and always giving people something to always look at, because you never know who come across your music. You never know who come across your videos. They might become a fan right in and there off the first video, and you want them to have something to look at and look for. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep on putting shit out. You got to keep on standing in their face. Okay. So that's how I really look at it.
So talk to me about
trying to find love at the end of the week. Heartbroken, looking for revenge in the streets. Know a couple women who had did it to me. Gotta ask the ass, can it?
Live from the trenches. Nowadays niggas, they be dying for attention. Your homie, you wanna crack a smile when you winning. But he'll crack a joke and be a clown for them bitches when they got a money.